The Packers, they led from pillar to post in this game, from pillar to post, and dominating the helpless Seattle football team, 30-13, the final. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Seattle now free falling, no longer atop the NFC West. Josh Jacobs also overcame a fumble. He also ran for 94 yards and a touchdown for the Green Bay football team, who improved to 10-4 in the season. Packers have won 8 of their last 10 games. The better story, though, is in the losing locker room. And so that is where we will go. What stood out? What stood out for Coach Mike Macdonald's Seahawks in getting blown out on their home field in an island game? The island life. Just non-competitive Seattle football team. So I've got Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, adult coloring book, and three-headed fire-breathing dragon. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make brisket sliders, which is what I enjoyed. I had some brisket sliders. I was at the Charger game. I did see Eddie. He says hello. He misses you. But I was at the Charger game there in the afternoon. And domination by the Tampa Bay football team. More on that later. But we're talking about the Seattle game, the Seahawks and the Packers. Not much of a game. Went the way I thought it was going to go. Seattle's just not that good. Anyway, all right. So, let's start with the Seahawks quarterback room. All right, what stood out for Mike Macdonald's Seahawks getting blown out at home? And the answer, first answer, is the Seattle Seahawks quarterback room. They held a webinar. They got together, held a webinar on how not to play the position. Wow. Wowzers. My God, that was bad. Now, Geno Smith continues to be an imposter. Now, he didn't play well. He left. He had to go have a late night snack. It was Snap Crackle Pop. He had Snap Crackle Pop. That's what he had. The dinner, usually it's a breakfast, but the dinner of champions. So another flatulence-filled performance at home, back-breaking red zone interception. Where have we seen that before from Geno Smith? That has become his superpower in Seattle. And it really is a case where you have a Band-Aid, and you're not supposed to leave the Band-Aid on all that long. You leave the Band-Aid on a while, and, well, what happens? It gets infected and all that. That's Geno Smith playing quarterback in Seattle, but no one wants to listen to me, so I'm enjoying the poop show. Watching Geno attempt to play quarterback. So that was Geno Smith's 13th interception, and this season, 4th in the end zone. 4 of the 13 in the end zone. Now, that is hard to do. Now, this game was a Harvard boat race situation. Green Bay came out and mollywopped Seattle early in the game, and it didn't matter who played quarterback because Geno knocked out with Snap, Crackle, Pop, and he went out of the game in the third quarter. Someone named Sam Howell came in. I remember him from Washington, and he did the impossible. You talk about a Houdini trick. He was actually worse than Geno Smith. And let me stop right there. Sam Howell somehow sucked more than Geno Smith. You know how difficult that is? He did it. Sam Howell did it. It was so bad, I think our listener JJ in Renton would have done a better job playing quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks there. Somehow, Sam Howell sucked more. And Howell and Geno, collectively, they did a version of Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels from the iconic Dumb and Dumber. The way they played the quarterback position against the Green Bay Packers there. The headless Seabirds there go out and get a real quarterback. Well, actually, I like the Rams, so maybe you shouldn't get a real quarterback. Maybe I should be a threat in the NFC West. Now, page 2. Let's go to the winning locker room. Did the performance by Jordan Love change your perspective on the Packers? Did this play by Jordan Love in the primetime Island game change your perspective on the Green Bay Packers? So I will answer that first because you're not here. Absolutely not. is my answer. Absolutely not. They are who we thought they were. Packers are a good, not great team. They played like a good, not great team here. This is a game, when you looked at it going into it, it was like a Bob Ross adult coloring book. Paint by numbers. Show up, make sure you check into your hotel, make sure you get on the bus and get to the stadium on time, and just let Geno do his thing. And ta-da! There you go. Collect a win. Jordan Love did paint a masterpiece, so good for him. Good for him. But Green Bay has a better roster. They have a better coach. They have a better quarterback. They have a better, across the board, just better. They were favored on the road for a reason. They are the better team, and they played like it. Good for Jordan Love. You don't get any brownie points, though. I was getting some messages from my friends in Wisconsin like, well, you got to really lay it on. I mean, Jordan was great. You got to admit that, Ben. I know you're negative, but you got to admit Jordan Love was really good. And I was like, well, yeah, he was good. But you don't get brownie points for doing what you're supposed to do. Mission accomplished, fine. And the Packers are an interesting team from the standpoint that we've determined that Philadelphia and Detroit are head and shoulders above everyone else in the NFC. However, Detroit having issues defensively here, things are falling apart. The war of attrition is kicking in for the Detroit football team, so there's some issues there. And you look around, and the Lions, a lot of camping out in the injury tent for the Detroit football team. And the Packers are on the prowl. The Cheeseheads are on the prowl right now as they attempt to chase down the Lions and the Vikings in that division, who are ahead of them in that division. They do have a game, Green Bay. There's only a few games left, 3 weeks to go in the season, so they have a game with the Vikings, so that's a big one. And the Vikings play the Lions head-to-head, so that's another big opportunity. So if the Packers, if my math is correct on this, the Packers want to beat the Vikings, and then they want the Lions to beat the Vikings. Unless the Lions just start losing every game, and then it's even better for them. But whoever stumbles, Green Bay is in position. They're lurking in like a snake in the grass. And things are going to be very interesting. Down the stretch we come, like every great track announcer, which I had a chance to do when I was early in my radio career. I was offered a gig in horse racing. I didn't take it. And that job that I was offered no longer exists. There used to be a guy that got paid a good amount of money to call into radio stations and give the results of races on the radio. He paid a lot of money for that. The job doesn't exist anymore, as far as I know. All right, now, the last part of this, there is a new team in the catbird seat of the NFC West. If you look at your NFC West standings, you can ram it all day, you can ram it all night by not even playing. They didn't even play. They played on Thursday. The Rams, who were 1-4 and were in a ditch on the side of the road, and these dum-dums like Terry in England and all these other 49er fans. Oh, the Rams suck. Oh, they're terrible. Blah, 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 blah. 1-4 after 5 games. The LA Rams had a bye week. They are now leading their division with 3 weeks to go in the NFL regular season. The Rams, who won on Thursday in a stinker against the 49ers, they are 8-6 now. And the Green Bay Packers winning, so that's huge for L.A. as they take advantage of that. They have a win in hand against Seattle, so even though they have the same record, the tiebreaker goes to the Rams, who are now in first place. And so that win by Green Bay drops Seattle down. And so Sean McVay's L.A. Rams find themselves in first place in the NFC West. Is that a big deal, a little deal, or no deal? Now, you can call me a homer all you want. I don't give a rat's ass. That is a big deal for the Rams. That is a big deal. You got the double whammy for Seattle. Not only did they play a crap bag game against Green Bay on an island game, you got Geno Smith. We'll have an update on him later this hour on his status. He's got a bad knee. It is a massive deal for the Rams to go from 1-4 and now control your destiny in terms of end-of-season division-winning probability. You're in control. You just take care of business. 3 weeks to go, and you look at the schedule. They play a bad Jets team. Now, that's in Jersey. The weather could be a factor, but the Jets are terrible. And so you've got that matchup. Then after that, home games against Alligator Arms Murray and the Cardinals, and then you close it out with Seattle at home and maybe Sam Howell at quarter. Who knows? So that's what's left for the Rams. You win those 3 games, you're a division winner, you're an 11-win team. You're set up. As of now, the Rams are the number 4 seed in the NFC, with the Buccaneers being the 3rd seed because of the tiebreaker over the Rams. But LA 7-2 their last 9 games. The Rams, the 3-headed fire-breathing dragon, is alive and well for Sean McVay. Kyron Williams in the backfield. Puka Nacua, who's taken over. Cooper Kupp didn't even have a catch in the last game. And so you've got Nacua as the second head of that fire-breathing dragon, and then Matthew Stafford. And even the defense, which I'm not a believer in. I don't trust the Rams defense. They looked fine against the 49ers on Thursday. The Rams defensively, while they have been spotty, have shown some ability here. Again, spotty. They got smoked by Buffalo. Everyone's getting smoked by Buffalo and whatnot.